We're back. We're back again. What's up, Sam?
Hello, Parker.
Welcome back, Governor.
Thank you, sir. Happy 14-15.
Yes, it's just another week of Fortitude and 15, episode 230.
Bang.
That's
Bang.
crazy. 230. Man.
A lot of episodes, man. When are we gonna be able to retire? When are we gonna be rich and famous?
I've always thought about it. It's like, what is going to be the last episode? Like, when does it just end? Not saying we're trying to make it end. It's just
I
like,
don't
what?
know. What's the number?
What is that last episode going to be like? Is it just going to be like a 42-15? We're like, we're done. Or
I feel like that's a great
interview. Where it's just like,
if we're gonna end, here's how I want to end, Parker. I'm glad you asked.
we might have to end where we started.
I want to have a Michael Jordan type of ending. I want to retire, and I want to take our talents to something new. And then I want to come back. So what is our baseball? That's the question.
Baseball? That'd be cool.
No,
All right, well, Elevation Nation, we're not going anywhere. I just thought it was a nice little hypothetical. Because, like, think of your favorite podcast that you used to listen to. Do you still listen to it now? If it's still going on, great. If it's not, what was their last episode even like? Goodbye forever.
I don't know, man.
I guess in this medium.
I guess we'll see what happens.
No, but
when the
we're not
time
teasing
comes.
at anything. We're just talking nonsense here.
We're here. Speaking of nonsense, I did something pretty nonsensical the other day.
Oh yeah, what'd you do, Sammy boy?
So it was a Monday. I get a call during work. I very rarely answer, but I must have been in between meetings or eating lunch. It's my
Very
dear
dramatic.
friend and elevator number one,
Number
Joey
one.
Lane. Elevator number one, Joey Lane, and he goes, odds you take a flight to Cleveland tomorrow to see the Knicks play the Cavs in the playoffs.
You know what I would put those odds at? Like plus 1,000 for you. And if you're not in the betting world, everyone, plus 1,000 is like, if I put $100 down on this bet and Sam did it, I'd win $1,000, which means I multiply my money times 10. So the odds are not very good. But
Not very good. But I said, you know what? I got to try to make some more memories.
is that really what it was? Like, really?
I mean, it was pretty absurd. I was able to work it out with work, right? I talked to my awesome manager, who I love. She's the best. And I was like, hey, what do you think about this idea? I'm going to leave work on Tuesday at like 3. And then I'll be back and I'll work from Columbus, Ohio, Wednesday. And I'll have to leave work at like 4. So I really won't miss that much work. And she was like, go, do it. It sounds awesome. And it's funny. On Tuesday, I took the flight, right? And it's like an hour flight. Pretty
You're
quick.
the king of, first of all, you're the king of 1-hour flights, which is hilarious because Mr. Sustainable Environment, everything, Mr. Sam
How do you want to
Panitch.
get to Cleveland, Parker?
Okay, Cleveland's whatever. DC to New York, like, is a little different.
Well, I'm not talking about that. So
Okay, fine. But you're like the king of
bad.
1 hour less flights. Just saying. Putting it out
I
there.
am. Well, I love them. They're great. Anyways, she didn't even notice I was gone. When I got to the airport in Cleveland, I started working again. And she was like, when do you leave for your flight? I was like, I'm already there. So that was pretty nice. I'm glad I was able to sneak out and go over there. And that's one nice thing about working remote. So yeah, ended up getting picked up by Joey Lane. He drove from Columbus to Cleveland, about a 2-hour drive, picked me up from the airport. We changed in a sketchy parking garage under some train tracks. And we went and had incredible seats for the Knicks Cavs playoff game. And then at 11 o'clock at night, we drove from Cleveland to Columbus, got in at 1, went to sleep, woke up, worked the next day, full day, and then flew back to D.C. Quick there and back.
You guys are hilarious. Very, very funny. I would have said, you know what? Let's go to the game, enjoy our night, get a hotel room, wake up the next morning, fly home. Or drive back the next morning.
Joey had to be in the office in Columbus. It was a whole thing.
Wow.
Whole thing.
All right, so what did you learn from this experience, Sam? Because this is very un-Sam-like, and I've known you for a while now. Like, let's see. I've known you
Absurdity.
since 9 years
Absurdities make good
ago,
memories.
and this is something I would say I wouldn't put $100 on because it wouldn't happen. Well, in this
You're in a
case,
gambling
I would have
mode,
made a
man.
lot of money off of you doing this. But basically, Elevation Nation, this is very unlike Sam. Where did this come from?
I think I'm just a little bit in a like monotonous cycle, and I wanted something that would break it free. And a lot of times when you're in a city, like with a lot of my friends here, it's like, do you want to grab drinks after work, or do you want to go to this happy hour? Do you want to do this or that? And I'm just not that into it. I'd rather just like work or chill or relax or get Elevation Nation stuff done after work. But this was like something right up my alley, going to see my buddy play basketball and spending it with one of my best friends. And so that was kind of why I did it. And again, absurdities breed great memories. What an incredible memory I get to have with Joey. It was so much fun. We had a blast. And yeah, I'm glad I did it. Very glad I did it.
Do you think that you would have done that 3 or 4 years ago in the same situation?
No. I feel confident enough that I can manage work and do it. That was the most stressful part. It wasn't like the dropping a ton of money on the thing. It was like, how am I going to manage work? Like, is everything going to be okay?
Well, I'm
But
curious.
yeah,
What was it like a no-brainer to you? Or was it in your
no,
mind, was it like, damn, I got to think about work. Oh, man, this thing's expensive. Oh, man, I don't want to sleep. I'm not going to, my routine's all messed up. Because I know
for
the
sure.
way you think. The way you think is like, this is an amazing idea. And this is, I guess, the reason why I'm saying this, because this is the way you've always approached things like that. Is like, oh, my God, my work schedule is going to be off. My personal routine is going to be thrown off. It's going to cost me money. It's going to be something that is unlike me, and it's going to take a little bit more effort, but I don't think I see the reward in the amount that I'm going to get out of it. That is how I would have said that you would approach a situation we talked about 3 or 4 years ago.
I did. It's pretty much exactly how I did it. I looked how much flights were. I said, geez, those are very expensive. I then called my mom and said, how crazy is this that Joey asked me to do this? Flights are X amount of dollars. And my mom said, do it. Go do it. And one of the reasons
I'm proud
and
of
then
you. I
did that.
genuinely am proud of
you.
you because
Thank you.
this
It was
is
fun. It was
this is
really
a
cool.
big stepping stone here. You know,
It
an
was just a good
Elevation
memory.
Nation. This is like no, but this is cool because you are not spontaneous like that, and it's not because you're a boring person. You're not a boring person at all. It's not because you are not adventurous. You're definitely very adventurous. It's because you've had these models in your life that you've always followed, and you went outside the model, and I think that's really cool.
Thank you, Parker. Yeah, it was super fun. I had a great time. Again, it was more about making memories. I just wanted to do something different. And I have a regret from college when JB was in the national championship in the Final Four. I didn't go. I also missed his draft party because we were in Asia. And I just wanted to be there and see him play on a big stage. And so that was really cool that I got to do that, even though he didn't play well.
Yeah, they did not have a good game. They probably had the
No, they
worst
did not.
game of the whole playoffs when
They
you
did.
went. But
So now I'm not allowed to go to any more games, but that's okay. We tried, and it was fun. What
It
have
was
you
all
done
for the
recently,
experience.
Parker?
What'd you say?
What's been a recent core experience that you've been able to create? And no, not your engagement. You can't
yeah, I
use
was
that.
going to say, if I said
can't
that
use
was
that.
spontaneous, I think I would get a lot of question marks.
Yeah,
I guess after 6 years, it can't really be spontaneous. But that's a good question, Sam. I am. Something recently, you know, I can't remember the last time I, like, to your point, like, literally said day of or day before, like, I'm going to pick up and travel somewhere, unless it's for work. So I'm crossing that one off. It's a really good question. Really, really good question. Maybe it's It's something I don't have the answer to right now because maybe I need to try and be a little bit more spontaneous, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I think being spontaneous like adds an element of getting like the norm out of the way. Like it breaks the norm, which is not a bad thing by any means. You could definitely say like, getting engaged is breaking the norm. Like my life post engagement, after engagement is completely different already. Just planning a wedding in general and all that. But on top of that, man, I mean, like, I'm with you. Whether it's as spontaneous as like going out right now and going to a coffee shop that I've never been to and talking to a random person, or doing something big like yourself, traveling to see, I don't know, the Yankees play on the road somewhere. You know what I mean? But I'm with you. We only can live in the present, and so why not go do the things that will make you happy? Second guess it later is what I'm thinking.
I love it. We can all be a little more spontaneous.
I mean, like, hopefully this is a stepping stone for you to be very spontaneous. I mean, getting you to Asia, dude, was excuse my language, a hard, man, we had to put pitch decks together. We had to put a budget together, a plan.
You didn't put shit together, bro. I did the whole budget.
Oh, yeah? Is that right?
That's right.
Dude, what do you mean? I was our travel...
You're our historian.
A historian extraordinaire. You know how much research had to go...
put together some good
You know how much research had to go into the understanding of the history in China, Thailand, and Vietnam, man? I had to educate myself, not just for like 350 years like the United States. How about thousands of years, man? And
name one fact.
Dude, we're not going there. This is a conversation
I went there.
for
Name a fact.
Name a fact. Oh, man.
Name one fact.
Okay. All right. Here's a fact. In Vietnam, they have this coffee. And elevation, if you don't know, it's called...
Egg coffee.
No, it's the poop coffee. You remember the poop
poop coffee? I remember the poop, yeah.
Yes. And so I forget the type of animal, but this coffee is actually known as one of the most expensive coffees in the world. And it might be gross, so if you don't want to hear something gross, just stop the podcast right now. But basically what happens is these animals eat these seeds, and basically they digest the seeds, and it ferments in their stomach a certain way. It doesn't fully digest, and they poop the seeds out. And the locals in the area found that those seeds were actually really, really good post-poop to make coffee with. And it's really crazy because it's one of the most expensive coffees in the world. And so this was just, a nice little fun fact. I got to bring some home. It tasted just like any other coffee, but, it has a nice story behind it and certainly an interesting taste. But yeah, don't doubt my historian vibes, dude. Come on, man.
You're a good historian. All right. Elevator spotlights. I want to give a shout out to elevator number 63. I feel like we shout him out all the time because he's crushing it. Brad Kraut. Brad is now featured on a new hit reality show with Barstool called Project Verified, which honestly is right up Brad's alley. He's king of getting verified, king of making content, and I'm excited to tune in and see how he does.
Is that what it's about? Like, they want to try to get these guys verified, or just?
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea.
All right,
probably not going to watch it. But I love you, Brad.
Let us know, Brad. Okay. I gotta shout out my FTL guys, Xander and Ryan. They just been working hard. They've been working behind the scenes for a couple of years now on FTL, the bag, and it's really cool to see them actually push forward. And they started a Kickstarter to raise money to help fund their dream and fund the ability to produce more of these bags. So shout out to them. If you haven't looked or known or whatever FTL is, check them out. They're sweet looking bags that fit a garment bag in there. It's a gym bag and it's a work bag all in one. It's beautiful. and they're two awesome dudes. So shout out Ryan, shout out Xander, crushing it and elevating every day.
All right, Elevation Nation. Until next week. Peace.